What's up, y'all? I just want to make a little video, talk a little bit about some things I've been dealing with lately, and my perspective on some things. Well, to start things off, I want to talk about financial crisis in America right now. It's gotten pretty bad, but what I really want to kind of justify by me saying this is there's a lot of places right now in Jacksonville, Florida, specifically, that they will hire new employees. And the ironic part is you could be with these corporate companies for 2 years, 2.5 years, longer than that, given whatever your scenario is that you've been placed in, and people just don't care about you. Biggest factor that plays into that I realized is some people genuinely do care about you, but even the ones that do tend to move past you the quickest in life, and they'll just go about their normal day and won't even think to stop and check on how you're doing. And it's kind of just becoming normal in places like jobs, hospitals, low-end restaurants, places where you think people would have common sense, but they're just lacking in it so severely. And it drives people to hate each other for no reason. I don't know. I don't really want to say this this must just be a me thing going on lately. No, I feel like 2025 is really a breaking point in the financial system for a lot of people, because people will genuinely break. Their brains will break. They won't know how to process this. I look at it like you can be the smartest person in the world, but if you're not open to sharing your perspective on things that you've previously been through or that you're currently going through in life, how can you really excel at gaining somebody else's trust? It's going to be very difficult. Just like in places like jobs, like you're going to be very socially incapacitated most of the time. You're physically and mentally not going to want to converse with people, because all they're going to do is put you down when you try, or tell you that you should be doing it this way, even though they're kind of right, but they're also kind of not, because you could just do it your way and then move along with life. But it's kind of not necessarily meant to be a rant. It's just kind of meant to kind of put it into perspective, like, this is really what's going on. Like, people are losing their damn minds. And I'm also kind of looking at it like, I don't really want life to change necessarily, but I don't want to just barely be scraping by, if that makes sense. But in the same sense, being smart enough to rarely ever spend my money anyways, just because there's not a lot of things that I would personally like to spend my money on like that. And it's really not that mind-blowing. It's just some people choose to be up on like a upper echelon of smart, and then you have the metaphorically below lower class standards of your average retard, which is kind of sounds stereotypical, but it's actually really how it is, and it's scary. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums this up. Is just, if you find something in life you're good at, whether it's a job, not necessarily a relationship, but just learning to cope with being lonely and appreciating yourself more and more and more and more, but going about it in appropriate ways, that's going to get you a lot further than if you're hanging out with people who might have good intentions, but you don't know that, so you might as well just sum that up as to they don't have good intentions, because you still don't know them like that. And it's where a lot of people go wrong in life, is they try to be so quick to make friends. And I have made this mistake a couple of times, even years and years ago, you know.